Hey guys, it's Pastor Bruce. During the school year, we open this gym up during the week for the neighborhood guys to come in and play basketball. Let me tell you, some of these fellows are very talented. They light the place up, and there's all kinds of oohs and ahs as these human highlight reels are running it up and down the floor. But there's another group of guys who come who think they've got game. However, once you get past the smack talk and the bravado, there's really not much there. The Apostle Paul was dealing with a similar situation in the church in Corinth. And as we come to 1 Corinthians 4, Paul tells them, any wisdom that you have, any success that you've experienced, that's not because of you. That's because of God. And then Paul uses irony in calling them kings and wise and comparing them to himself and the other missionaries and apostles who were bottom of the barrel. Paul didn't mean that. He was being ironic. The reality was they really had very little to commend themselves, and yet they looked down their nose at these men who did have spiritual legs to stand on. We see this in the church today. Those who feel that certain ministries are beneath them. Sometimes very pivotal ministries like evangelism. Oh, the pastor does that. I don't need to dirty my hands with that. And you see, that's being fueled a lot by pastors that we see on television who talk a lot about God's blessings and God's plan and how God just wants to make your life just the best thing ever. But they talk very little about Christian responsibility. Paul explains to the church at Corinth, and this goes for us today as well. There's a lot of people out there that want to teach you and tell you things, but you have very few spiritual fathers. In the case of the modern church, that's the pastor and the elders and the teachers. These are the people that have your best interest at heart. They love you. They want to see you really have a life that is abundant in Jesus Christ. They should be your guide, not the flashy multi-million-dollar ministries out there, but your humble pastors and teachers who are there with you day in and day out. Every one of us who's a follower of Christ has been entrusted with the truth of the gospel and for spreading that word. As I end today, let me ask you this. How are you doing? Now, it's not for me to judge. It's not for anyone to judge you. Jesus will do that. We can inspect your fruit, though. But let me say this to you. If you haven't gotten there yet, why don't you start today? God bless you as you go.